Well, if you spent a couple days away from the internet to try to spend some time with your family this weekend, you might have missed the latest developments in the world of cancel culture. What incredibly insane things have happened over the past couple of days? Let's take a look in our latest episode of Everything is Racist.
Everything is racist. Every thought you have is a KKK dream. Everything is racist. White supremacist extreme.
Well, the Cleveland Indians are considering a name change because they are committed to engaging our community and appropriate stakeholders, which interestingly is a phrase no one has ever said with sincerity, ever. The CFL's Edmonton ESKIMOS are keeping their name after an extensive year-long formal research and engagement program, whatever that is. The Atlanta Braves will also not be switching yet after they held meetings with our Native American Working Group. Are you insinuating that other groups of Native Americans don't work? You bastards. And Emory and Henry College in Virginia may be changing their nickname from the Wasps, like the literal insect, a wasp. Why? To not offend those allergic to their stings. No, I'm only kidding. It's all because this is a quote, while the little wasp itself isn't offensive, but the acronym WASP stands for White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. I kid you not, we live in stupid times.
Everything is racist. Every thought you have is a KKK dream. Everything is racist. White supremacist extreme.
Now, the Washington Redskins are back on the chopping block, which is actually a pretty sexist phrase. Look it up. And probably should be canceled as well. I should admit some bias going into this, and it's important to do this as a broadcaster. I hate the Washington Redskins. I mean, it's not Dallas Cowboys level hate, but along with the Giants, they are in the division with the good guys, the Philadelphia Eagles, America's real team. And therefore, just like the trash that plays in the stadium near where I live in Texas, the Redskins suck. In fact, a good part of me wants to have the Redskins change their name. Why? Well, because they're resisting of this nonsensical cultural tide of a name change is up until this point literally the only thing I like about them. It was nice to see an owner actually show a spine for once. Well, spines were made to be broken, which isn't a phrase, but if it were, it should definitely be canceled. The Redskins released a statement which read in part, "In light of recent events around our country and feedback from our community, the Washington Redskins are announcing the team will undergo a thorough review of the team's name." Reports by ESPN since have indicated that, yes, the name will change. That's a little different than the way I would handle it. I got to be honest. I'd wait about 6 months and then release a statement on the same letterhead that just said, after close study and consultation about a change of the name of the Washington Redskins, nah. Sincerely, the Washington Redskins. That's what I would do, but, this is why I don't own an NFL team. I mean, that and, I am a couple $1 billion short. That's a separate issue, though. If they're really going to change the name, they should probably have the facts. So here's a handy-dandy FAQ about the Redskins. Is the name racist or not? All right, let's start with how did the name start? Well, that one, not racist. There's almost no disagreement on this one. The term Redskins questionably began as a friendly term to describe Native Americans used and created by Native Americans. The seminal work, a term I use intentionally because seminal means strongly influencing later developments, and also one other thing that you'll have to look up. Don't do it. But the seminal work on the term Redskin is called I Am a Redskin, the adoption of a Native American expression. You might notice that the story is about our language adopting a Native American expression because it says that in the title. It also gives a zillion examples of it being true. For example, red was soon adopted in both French and English and was conventional by the 1750s. Although Europeans sometimes use such expressions among themselves, however, they remained aware of the fact that this was originally and particularly a Native American usage. Okay, well, what about the owner at the time of the name change. Ooh, sorry, he is racist. Ooh. The owner at the time of the change was George Preston Marshall. He changed the name from the Boston Braves to the Boston Redskins because there was already a baseball team with a Boston Braves name. Marshall was definitely a racist, but not a racist against Native Americans. He was a racist against African Americans. Now, this does not rehabilitate him as a person at all, but it does call for a more careful examination of the name itself. Marshall wasn't just a racist as a function of his time either. He refused to hire any black players long after every other team in the league did so, which basically made his team suck for years and years. Today, they still suck without the racism. The owner did a lot of problematic things, and some were really racist, and some were just offensive to our brand new woke sensibilities. But if you want to erase the owner's history, focus on him, not the team name. By the way, they've already taken him out of the team's history. What was the intent of the name of the franchise? This one, not racist. When the name was chosen, the intent was unquestionably positive. The term Redskins was chosen to honor the coach and the several players that were on the team at the time who were Native Americans. It would have been a weird meeting, with this coach if he was naming it the Redskins to slur him. Would have been strange. Beyond that, it's kind of obvious that you just don't name your franchise after things that you hate. For example, I would not name my football team the Avocados, because avocados are alien eggs sent here to destroy our society and are also gross and mushy. Usually name your team after things you appreciate and want to root for. Not sure what that says about the New Jersey Devils, but it's Jersey, so it probably makes sense. What about the other uses of the name? Sometimes racist is this ruling. There definitely were occasional ugly uses of Redskin in between when it was first used and when the Redskins named their franchise. But almost everyone seems to go back to this random quote from a Minnesota newspaper in 1863. The state reward for dead Indians has been increased to $200 for every Redskin sent to purgatory. Though the 1800s were also filled with positive references to the term as well, including this one. The sudden emergence of the English word redskin in print during the treaty negotiations of 1815 can plausibly be seen as directly stimulated by the circumstance of those events. The treaties were greatly empowering for the Indians, who ceded nothing and were loaded with gifts in exchange for accepting a mutual peace. All right, next up, how do people use the name today? Not racist. This is probably the most important thing, right? Literally no one on earth uses the term Redskin today as anything other than a football team. I said this 6 or 7 years ago on the air, and it still stands today. I have literally never, not one time in my entire life, ever have heard the word Redskin used as a pejorative against a Native American. Never. It simply means a football team now. A crappy football team, sure, but a football team. What do actual Native Americans think about the name? This is important too. Not racist. I really like this one because it gives me a chance to talk about a shocking bit of media bias. During the 2000s, the media decided to push this narrative that the Redskins name was offensive. To prove this case, they polled Native Americans multiple times and found that about 90% of Native Americans didn't find it to be offensive. 90%. What happened this weekend was not shocking for its content, but that it was actually admitted to. The Washington Post, who conducted one of the polls that showed what Native Americans actually felt, has become incredibly embarrassed by the poll. And they're now admitting that. Quote, a survey explores how Native Americans feel about the name Washington Redskins. No, it's not that survey. This one is new. This is a media organization that was responsible for the seminal moment in a debate that resulted in a surprising result, disproving a narrative. And they're running from it. Look at the way they talk about their own poll. The Post poll has been blamed for killing the debate. The truth is, our collective response did, and that never should have happened. The name is a dictionary-defined slur, whether or not 10% of Native Americans or 50% of your coworkers or your favorite aunt acknowledge it. What? This is progressivism in a nutshell. These stupid people don't understand that they should be offended. We elitists of superior intelligence understand how they should feel, and that's more important than their life experiences or even our own scientific poll. So they wrote another story about another poll with a totally different methodology after several more years of trying to convince Native Americans that the name is offensive. The results? This time, only 68% of Native Americans were not offended by the name. The reasons they gave for feeling that way include it's just a name, it honors our heritage, honors or represents their heritage, and people are overly sensitive. By the way, it's a bit of apples and oranges, but 68% approval is higher than Americans rate every single American institution except for the military and small business. The poll went farther than just a simple question. They tried to really hard, I would say, to pull out some negative reaction from Native Americans, but it's just not there. Quote, the survey presented respondents with more than 40 emotions and asked them to indicate whether each represented how they felt about the team's name. The word picked most was proud. This is unbelievable. What a fail. This is just like Aunt Jemima. African Americans felt overwhelmingly positive of the image of a happy and caring African American on their syrup bottles and pancake boxes. They bought them more than any other group by far. But white woke morons took them away because they were angry that black shoppers didn't understand how offended they should be. Here again, Native Americans are saying they feel proud, and white people are saying, you just don't understand how you feel. Native American business owner Robert Doerr summarized the debate from his perspective. It will erase us. It will erase us from history. It will erase us like we never happened. Let's start fighting for something that matters. Let's attack something like housing. Let's attack alcoholism. I'll fight tooth and nail if we can, but changing a football team name will do nothing for us. After this is done, and I fully expect the Redskins to fold on this, what team name will be safe? The only team name left is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles because they were named after the symbol of a massive collection of government programs. And there's nothing harder than getting rid of a massive collection of government programs. Hi, Stu Bergier of Stu Does America here. Thanks so much for watching our video. Did you know you can watch our entire catalog for free right here on our channel? Subscribe now and be sure to hit the thumbs up button on all the episodes you watch because that's how they know you like this stupid show. And that little bell in the corner as well, make sure you click that. You'll get notifications every time we post new content. Stu Does America every weekday at 8 p.m. Eastern right here.